Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome back to another Behind the Scenes. Today I am designing a minigame. I don't yet know what the minigame's going to be. You might know what it is by the title, or maybe you've seen me building it in my lovely world already, but at the moment, I'm still in the very early stages of working it out, and I always think that this is quite an interesting time to kind of share what I'm thinking of. So, there were two kind of ideas in coming up with whatever this game ends up being. The first thing is I've never, ever made a parkour game. Like, there have been a few games that require kind of some jumping, but, you know, probably the most obvious type of game to do is some sort of free-running, jumping, platformy game, and I've never done one. And so I was like, what kind of parkour game could I do, but kind of have some sort of twist on it, something to make it interesting? Like, I didn't want to just do a straight-up race where you're jumping over things. So I then realized that I have Harry, a horse, and I don't feel like I've made the most of Harry. Harry kind of just sits in his little house, and he's happy there, but horses are fun because you can ride around on them. Sometimes they're quick. Harry's not the fastest, but they can jump quite high. So I thought it'd be a good idea to maybe make a minigame that involves Harry. So I kind of, at the moment, have merged the two together. So I've basically just been planning kind of a little platforming game here where, well, it's not even really a game. It's just, I've been seeing how easy it is to jump with a horse. And you can kind of quite do it relatively easy. If you kind of get a good build up, you have quite a lot of control in the air as you jump around. So I bet I could get all the way to that one there in one jump if I get a good build up, and then okay, well, it's possible. I couldn't do it then, but it is possible. So yeah, it's actually an okay option to kind of do platform like this on a horse, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be too crazy difficult, but it's not. Having water makes it safe. Also, it makes it so that you're really slow when you're in the water, which means it's probably actually quicker to jump over than in the water, but you can kind of continually jump just in the water as a way to get around, which I found quite interesting. So I'm not sure at the moment if I'm going to do a game where we're taking turns to use Harry. Seeing as I only have one horse, I can't do a straight up race with two horses. Or what I think I would prefer to do, if I can come up with a good idea, is to do some sort of game where one person's on the horse, everyone else is on the ground, and then we basically take turns having to go on the horse, and kind of whatever our objective is or whatever the game is, we can kind of take it in turn. So that is literally all I have in terms of an idea at the moment. So I'll put my head down, I'll have a little bit of a think, and once I've kind of worked out a little bit more what this game is actually going to be, yeah, I'll carry on and I'll show you what the next stage of designing it's going to be. Okay, I think I have a start of an idea of what the actual game might be. But I came up with an actual game mechanic rather than just simply trying to jump over things. Like, I didn't want it just to be a simple race. So I've been playing around with horses and leads, and then like them being tied to fences, and whoa, what was that? So yeah, I've been kind of playing around with that and working out how they work. So if you have a lead tied to a horse, tied to a fence, then the horse kind of gets stuck by the lead, as you can kind of see. It kind of gets pulled back. But if you do just kind of sprint non-stop in one direction, you can eventually break the lead and escape. So it kind of slows you down. But with this experiment I did in the middle down here, I worked out that if the horse is jumping, it can't escape. Basically, because you need to kind of keep pushing forward, and when you jump, you can't do that because you're in the air. You can't like break the lead while you're jumping, and this isn't probably the best way to demonstrate this, but this is how I kind of discovered it. If I jump up in the distance, you see that it just pulls me back until I'm on the ground, and then I might be able to break it. Can I break it in the water? Actually, that's I might not even be able to break it in the water. I might not be able to go fast enough, but I think there's a good chance it won't be in the water anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. So yeah, unless you're kind of pulling forward on the ground, it looks like it can't be broken. By the sound of it, it seems like soul sand as well, or anything else that might slow down the horse. If you're on that, you might be able to break it. But anyway, the idea I have then is kind of having a field of fences, and one person on the horse is trying to get through the field of fences, while the other players are trying to basically wrangle the horse. They're trying to get a lead on the horse and then tie it to a fence, or I guess try and hold the horse back themselves as well. They can try and pull them back that way. So what the person on the horse needs to do is basically avoid those people. But then to bring the parkour back into it, I kind of thought there could be like a route that you could do parkour, and maybe like it's high enough out of the way that people couldn't get a lead on them. So basically, you want to go as fast as you can, and you're trying to do the parkour. But if you fall down, then you could get slowed down by a lead and then need to jump back up. Maybe something along those lines. Basically, I like the idea of there being someone on a horse and then everyone else trying to either pull them back. So I think the two big options I have right now is either it is kind of like a time trial, and we time the person on the horse, how quickly they can make their way across and back and then take it in turns. Or maybe there is some other objective. You know, maybe it could be a time thing, but it could be the person on the horse has 2 minutes to get an apple and bring it back while everyone else tries to slow it down, and if they don't do it in time, they've just failed. Or there could be just some sort of other side objective. Maybe there's a win state for the non-horse players, which is unrelated to do with time. So I think I like the mechanics of trying to pull back someone on a horse and then trying to break off the lead. I just need to work out what the actual game is. So I'm gonna have another play around with some of these different mechanics, and maybe I'm gonna completely change the idea soon, but I guess we'll see. Okay, welcome back. I've done a few tests, so I found out that if someone's holding a lead, you can break out of it, even on soul sand and on water. So I did another test here where I was basically, because when you're jumping, you can't break it. So I was like, if you got to make your way up a staircase, maybe you couldn't break it, but you could anyway. And then I kind of came up with the game that, so this is what me and Squishy have been playing. Squishy's joined in, as you can see on the bottom screen. So we've been testing to see whether I can get from one side to the other, jumping over these blocks, and Squishy's trying to pull me off at the same time. And so far, she's won every time apart from the last go, but it's actually been pretty good fun. So if she pulls me when I'm jumping, then it pulls me back and I fall down in the water. But if she hooks me and I'm on a block, I can kind of pull forward and kind of break the lead even though I'm on the block. So there's quite a cool challenge. So let's have a go. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. So I need to parkour my way. Oh no, I fell in the water. Not a good start. No, she's coming. No, get up. Okay, let's go back up on here. And then, right, I'm going to go and jump all the way to... No, down again. This isn't a good example. I did better when everyone wasn't watching. Okay, so she's hooked me, but I've not fallen in the water yet. So if I can... No, I fell in the water. Right, let's go again until I win. It's funny because, like, parkouring over this area hasn't been too difficult, but the second there's someone else, like, going after you, it gets really difficult. I think there should probably be a few more, like, single block high ones just to give you a way to get back up if you do fall down, so it's just not completely game over. So let's just add a few more of them in, and let's have another round. But I think this is fun. Like, I don't know if it is going to be getting from one side to the other, but I think a 1v1 game will work best, because I think if there was more than one person with the leads, it would be way too difficult and hard to keep track. But anyway, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. Right, there we go. I was able to make it to the first block, and so I need to be watching where she's going and trying to avoid her. So I can do giant leaps like this. Oh, there we go. That was good. Keep going. Oh, no. I fell in the water. I need to get back up if I can. Oh, I'm just going to go this way. Let's have another go. We're still... This is part of research. And it's quite fun. Right, okay. Begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, right, I'm up. And then up to this next one. And oh no, I've fallen down. So I can kind of horse hop through the water and then get back up top here. Oh no, I fell down again. Right, back to the beginning. I can still do this. If I'm quick, I can sneak past. So let's try and get over to the side here. Do you reckon I can do a giant leap all the way to this one? Oh, look at that. That was amazing. Keep going, horsey. Keep jumping. So what I guess I need to decide is it an acceptable strategy? Because I do think the most successful way for me to do this would be to ignore the parkour and just do this. It might be a little bit too effective. So maybe it could be, maybe I could do it so once you fall in the water, you're out. Could be a way. Or maybe possibly, let me just test this quick. If I put soul sand under the water, will that make me go super duper slow? Does that make it down? I'm not sure if it does, because even if it does make me go slow, I might be able to kind of continually bunny hop and it won't make a difference. But let me just, in this little area here, see if there's a big change in speed. So this is normal speed in the water, pretty slow, and then soul sand speed, and Okay, that does make me go slow, but what about if I'm bunny hopping? See, if I'm even across the sand, if I'm jumping, I can still go relatively fast. So I think that's the next thing to work out. So what I think might be fun is, and I think this is a way it could work with more players, is if it's a ring. So imagine there's the center. So this is the center here, and maybe this is where the horse starts, or maybe the horse needs to get to the center and back out. And so let's do like a ring around the center here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel free to watch Squishy going around on the horse while I'm while I'm building this. So let's kind of say that this goes here like this, and then this goes down here like this. So it's like a giant circle, and then the aim could be to try and get either to or from the middle. And the reason why that's better than getting across is if there were like multiple helpers around the outside, like they need to kind of work together. So if I say like, okay, the helpers, like there's a helper there and a helper here, I can sneak this way, but then they can try and corner me off, and that would be a way we could turn it back into a group game. So that might be a smarter way to do things. So yeah, I think we're definitely on the verge of something here. It's just kind of the nitty gritty stuff we need to work out now. But the challenge of trying to jump as a horse while there's people trying to knock you off of a lead works really well, I think. And maybe the game could be just escorting a chicken across. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to end up becoming? So yeah, once again, I'm going to go and do a little bit more playing around, working things out, and then I'll bring you back in and let you know what I ended up coming up with. Okay, I've done a bit more playing around. I think I've changed my mind again. So I think I'm scrapping my circle idea, and I'm also scrapping the idea of having a bunch of players in the game, and I'm going back to making it a 1v1, just because I think I like the idea of kind of both opponents staring each other down from one side of an arena to the other, and then like, oh, they're going that way, then I'll go this way, and zigzagging across. I think that's fun, and I think that once there's more people, then it's just the challenge of keeping track of anyone, which might still be fun. And, you know, maybe we could do in the video a bonus round where we do it with more people just to see if it's possible. But I like the idea of it being a 1v1 game, so I think I'm going back to that, and also going back to it being getting from one side of an arena to the other. So I was kind of working out a little bit more. I definitely like the water. I like the fact that the person in the water has to go quite slow, so they have to kind of plan quite far ahead. So I like the idea that they're in water, and of course, as well, it means for poor Harry, who's going to be doing all of this, if he falls off, then he's not going to get hurt, which of course would not be okay in the game. So this is kind of the layout I came up with, because in the mock-ups, I kind of just randomly put the pillars around, and I think this arrangement is the best it could be. So it's kind of on a grid, and having it on a grid makes it a bit easier for the horse player, because like you could just go in a straight line from one side to the other, and once you've kind of got the hang of that jump and how far you need to hold down the button down, you can do hold down the button. You could do it quite like consistently. You could kind of I love the way I'm trying to demonstrate that. I haven't practiced it yet. I'm talking about once you've practiced it. So it means that the challenge is going to be, you know, you need to be consistent. You need to keep landing these jumps, but a lot of the extra challenge is going to be, you know, choosing, you know, where do you move, the whole cat and mouse of, oh, they're going that way, I need to go the other way. So you can see once I've kind of got into the hang of a little bit, I can do it quite consistently. But they're the easiest jumps. You could, of course, also go diagonal, which is pretty similar. But if you get a really good jump and charge it up, you could actually kind of completely leapfrog and go to the other one. So say if you're really good, you can kind of do that and just charge over them. And you could even like skip forward twice diagonally as well, but it's riskier. You know, if you're not good, you're going to fall. So there's the choice of, do I go slow and steady and make sure I don't fall, or do I try and go fast but I might fall in the water, and if I do, then I'm going to lose. So that's kind of, I think, where the challenge is going to come in. So outmaneuvering the other player and not falling off. And so I think that's the perfect mix. So kind of this is just a bit of a mock-up. It won't look anything like this. Well, I don't know, maybe it will, but I don't think it will look too like this in terms of the colors, at least. I just kind of did things that kind of stood out from each other. So the horse will stay down here. They're making their way to a higher raised platform, which basically means that they need to make their way across the jumps. You know, I was talking about earlier how you could just kind of skip through the water. If you got to here and you get to this wall, you can't jump up that. So you need to have made it by going across the jumps. And so the only other thing I need to work out is kind of the way the opponent starts and what is the challenge. Is it going to be a case of the player on the horse needs to get to the other side to win if they land in the water once they're out? Or maybe it could be a time thing. So if I fall in the water here, I might have a chance to get back to the start and then jump across again. So yeah, I need to work out those things and what it looks like. But overall, I think mechanically, that is going to be a pretty good fun game. So yeah, I'm going to go and try and get a little bit more specific now, maybe rebuild a new arena and work out exactly how those parts are going to work. But overall, I must say I'm pretty happy with how it is so far. Okay, we're not quite there yet, but I haven't fully worked out the game yet. I mean, I think I had a pretty good idea anyway, but I've done some work on the look of the game. So I was sitting here for a bit thinking about, well, which colors have I used a lot in my Funland, which ones haven't I used very much, and blah, 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 blah. But I was like, I don't want to make another boring game, which is just, you know, 2 different colors and then a line down the middle. Like, I've done that style a lot. And I like this style. Like, I like the look of a game which is, you know, all about looking as effective and striking as it can be. Like, that is kind of my style, but I wanted to kind of have more of a theme for this game, because it's a while since one of my games have had a theme. So I thought, you know what? If this is a game which is all about Harry bouncing around on things, why don't we theme it around my horse? Why don't we specifically theme this game around Harry? So this design you can see here, it's based around Harry. So Harry is a white horse, so there's a lot of white for the white. He wears diamond armor. This is as close as I can do to kind of diamond armor, because the diamond armor kind of has 2 tones to it. So this is supposed to be that. And then with his armor as well, he's got these straps and buckles and things, and he's got the yellow kind of saddle, not the saddle, but the bit that goes under the saddle. So that's the reason for all of the yellow. I did realize it looks a little bit like an egg when you kind of go in close like this, but remember, this is all going to be covered in water as well. So you will see a little bit of the white underneath the water, but it's mainly going to be a lot bluer. So yeah, that's kind of the style of it. So I like the look for the style anyway, but originally these lines weren't just to make it look better. The reason they were there was for a gameplay reason, and that was I came up with a way how this game can be a 1v1 game and a 1v3 game, because that's kind of one of the things I was struggling with, was should it be a 1v1, should it not, and I kept changing my mind. I realized, why not have it both? So if it's a 1v1 game, it will play how you expect. If I'm on a horse, I'm going to be bouncing my way across. The other person can start on the other side and try and knock me down. But you could also do a 1v3 game, and each of these areas, so between that line and that line, between these 2 lines and them 2 lines, there'll basically be a boundary for one of the players to be in. So say if I'm in this boundary here, I can't go past this line here, and I can't go past that line here. So this is kind of my stage where I need to stay in to try and get the horse, which basically stops all 3 players just charging straight at the horse, and then the person on the horse has no chance, basically, because they get completely surrounded. This way, it's almost like you're completing 3 different levels separately, like 3 separate 1v1s almost, even though when you're in the middle here, you're not particularly safe because they can still get you, but you kind of get the idea. So yeah, I have a look. So I'm not done yet. I need to work out the starting and the end arena. And oh yeah, also in terms of the gameplay, I think what I'm going to do is you're out once you do land in the water at all. That's it, game over, no timer or anything. But I think because games are going to be super duper fast, I'm going to have it so the person on the horse has 3 attempts in a row, and then however many successful attempts is how many points they get. So you basically get between 1 and 3 points. I can imagine a lot of the time people will get 0 points, or, you know, I imagine getting 1 point would be a good score, because I think it is going to be a difficult game. But who knows? Maybe one of my helpers is going to be a Harry hopping master. Oh yeah, I thought about calling it Harry Hop, but I need to write that down. I normally just kind of throw down a sign anywhere once I come up with a name, but I like Harry Hop. It might not definitely be Harry Hop, it might be Harry Hurdles or something, but Harry Hop just sounds cool. Maybe I could set Hop as Harry's second name and actually call him Harry Hop. Maybe we could do that one day. But anyway, that's kind of where we are right now. So there'll probably be one more little clip after this just showing basically what the completed game is and any other alterations I make between then and now. But it's hopefully looking pretty close to what it ended up looking like in my lovely world, if you have seen that video. Okay, I think I've pretty much finished the entire game now. So this is it. What do you think? So I pretty much carried on the pattern and did the same on that side. I actually realized that I did this wall in slightly the wrong place. Let me just check this side as well. Okay, they're all in the right place now. I had to rebuild this wall, but yeah, it didn't take too long. I built the grass up around the outside, so this kind of shows where ground level will be. I normally kind of just do the path leading to it as well. So this will be here, and then this will be whatever path I end up leading it to. Because remember, this is only ever half the game. I now need to find and prepare somewhere in my lovely world to build this, which is a whole other thing, but it's way more boring than designing it. So I never bother including it with these behind the scenes videos. So yeah, you'll bring in Harry to here. These are the platforms you need to jump across. I explained kind of the different areas, and then this is just where you need to jump up to. When you get to here, you're able to win. So the entranceway is kind of like, I guess, kind of like the saddle or the bit that goes around the head of Harry. It's all kind of just general Harry and Harry's armor colored. But of course, the big thing that I'm missing is water. So I don't know what this thing's going to look like with water. I think it's probably would have looked better without water than with water, because obviously I like all of the white wool, because, you know, I generally wanted there to be a lot of white wool because that's Harry's main color, I guess. Then again, I'm looking at a picture of him now, and the armor does pretty much cover the majority of him. So to be fair, having this much blue isn't going to matter too much. So yeah, let's go and fill this in, and then we can have a little look what it looks like, and then maybe have a go jumping over. So at this point, I won't test it again. Like I tested the mechanics, some with myself, some with Squishy earlier, kind of just testing the way that leads work and stuff. And I feel like I understand enough how they work to now that I'd rather test the game while building it, because that's always quite fun to do that in my main videos. And then any changes to the rules or the design, I'll do in my actual videos rather than testing it 100% in the behind the scenes. Like I just get it designed to a point where I know what I'm going to be doing in the videos, so I don't need to spend any time in the videos trying to work that out, and I can get all the materials and stuff ready. But then I can still, you know, play around and kind of experiment in the videos a little bit, and you know, have my first proper experience playing this game. I always try to capture that in one of the actual main Lovely World videos. So I believe that water is going to go and fill the rest up. So let's go and ride. I should name this horse. Let's call this horse Tester, because he's used to test it. There we go. This is Tester the horse. Not the most imaginative name, but it gets the point across. I know I haven't looked at it yet. It looks pretty good. I actually like the look of it in water. So the problem is I have a lot of games with water in, so they do kind of blend in. But I think the style, and especially seeing it from the outside, you can definitely kind of, once you know what it's about, you will definitely notice it. And once you see Harry inside as well, I think he's going to fit in. But anyway, Tester. Let's have a test to go. Let's see how well I can make it across. So that would have been an immediate fail there, and another immediate fail. I think we definitely will need to do a bit of practicing before we do the tournament, because it is a case of once you have learned how long to hold the A button down, as you can see, it does get quite easy. It's just kind of learning it from the beginning. So let's say there's someone chasing me. I want to go and run over here, and oh no, there's some streams in the water down here as well. So that would have been a failed attempt by me. So I think we'll just get everyone to practice the mechanics of doing the horse, and then all of the added pressure of the helpers. I want that to be the main challenge rather than just getting from one side to the other. But let's have one more go to see if I can do it a little bit better, because I think I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. Maybe not. It seems to be the first one's a little bit difficult. I wonder if I should make that easier. But then again, I do think people will get the hang of it. So let's just go in kind of a straight line along here. No, I ended up falling down. So yeah, definitely going to be a case of we need to get some practice. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this game then. So it took me, I don't know how many hours. It probably took me about like half a day pretty much to design. So probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours of kind of designing and redesigning and changing it, which is far from the longest I've spent designing a game. Sometimes it will be almost days on end designing a single game. But yeah, overall, the original idea, it hasn't changed too much. We just kind of evolved it. Sometimes I'll start going down a path thinking the game's going to be one thing, and then I suddenly change and it becomes something else. But this one, I felt like I was only ever adding on ideas rather than completely changing things. And oh, here's the old Tester horse, I guess, hanging out down there. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this behind the scenes. I'm going to try and keep uploading these as regularly as I can for those of you that enjoy them. And if there's anything particular that you would like me to go more in depth on, like whether you want to know how I edit, or in terms of how I do my actual commentary, or anything in particular, I'm happy to go more in depth on. The only thing I don't want to talk too much about is kind of some of the special videos in my lovely world. Like, I don't want it to get to the point where it gets to spoiler territory for some people, because a lot of people like enjoy my videos on different levels and kind of have a different understanding of what's planned and what isn't planned, and I kind of don't want to ruin it for some people, even though some other people would be interested. But in terms of things like this, if there's anything in particular you'd like to know more about, or like me to explain how I do it, then yeah, I will be happy to do that. But for now, that's the end of this episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!